Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your dark mask diva. Alright, so I was just on Quora yet again, and a young lady is really distraught because she had a long-term FWB and the relationship's over, and she really misses this dude. I told her, don't contact him. You know why? Because FWB isn't a real boyfriend. FWB isn't a real girlfriend. But you know what's really sad about that, you guys? FWB is a real partner that you're intimate with. FWB is a real friend, right? Because of the F part, that's your friend, right? That person was a friend. Like, you probably hung out with that person. You probably actually even went out on dates with that person. It really depends on the nature of your boundaries. You probably, I don't know, if you guys have ever had one of those, but sometimes you sit down with that person and go, okay, what are the limitations on this? Do you have a real boyfriend or girlfriend, or what are we, or what do you want to do? Do you want to go do things sometimes, or do you want to just hook up, or what do you want to do? So you want to sit around and talk about problems and problem solve together. You know, you want to hang out. You want to just kind of hook up. Do you want to just be close, or do you want this to almost be a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, or what do you want this to be like? So sometimes you just get with this person where you're not really ready for a real relationship, but you want to have a physical relationship with somebody, so you have a relationship like that. Now, the thing about FWB is I'm telling people now, in this day and age, not to have that. Why? COVID. Monkeypox. And I just don't think it's really a good idea to do that anymore, okay? If it ever was a good idea. I just don't think it's a good idea now. I think it's really just especially degrading for women just to have casual sex with a guy. I think really the guy gets a lot more out of it than the woman does. I think, if you're with a guy and you're having a sexual relationship with him, I really think he should be doing something for you. He should be doing something to make your life easier. He should, be paying your bills. He should be doing things. I don't think you should just be having sex with some guy. I don't know. I think that's ratchet. I don't think you should be doing stuff like that. But FWB is just something that if it ever worked before, it just doesn't work now. And I talk to a lot of people who say they're in an FWB relationship and their emotions are confused. I talk to guys who say they're in an FWB relationship and their female partner is clingy. Their female partner wants more out of the relationship. And I'm like, yeah, bro, she's a woman. That's why she wants more out of the relationship. And, I talk to people who are in FWB relationships. Sometimes the guy wants more out of the relationship, but usually the woman does. Why? Women are more oriented towards relationships, okay? So it's usually the woman that wants more out of the relationship. I'm going to admit I've had FWB relationships. Okay, these guys didn't want to let go of me, and sometimes they wanted more out of the relationship. And I had a hard time getting these guys out of my life, okay? So, I decided just not to have those anymore. Okay, and I never should have been doing that in the first place. That's really just a degrading thing for a woman to do. And, I was just in a phase in my life where I'm just kind of I don't want to have a real relationship. I just want to, keep things casual. I was just kind of just focusing on me and what I was doing, and I really didn't want to emotionally invest in anybody. But the thing is, when you have relations with somebody, you know what you're having? You're making a soul tie with somebody. And see, I didn't really think about things in a spiritual level. I didn't think about things in an emotional level because, I was partying. I was disconnected from my emotions. I was just let's get money, let's do this, let's do that, and I was disconnected from things on an emotional level, things on a spiritual level, and I'm thinking in a different way now. I'm thinking about my future. I'm thinking about, building emotionally with somebody, investing emotionally. But I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about, physical gratification. I was thinking about getting high. I was thinking about getting that money. That's all I was thinking about. So I wasn't thinking about caring about somebody. I wasn't thinking about, like respect. So at the time, I wasn't thinking about the way I think now. So now I think FWB is a really bad idea. Now, I'm going to talk about some things that happened with FWB, and this is something that is going to sound really funny, but this is something that happens with FWB, okay? Besides the fact that one person usually wants more out of the relationship than the next person, and you're going to say, Diva, that's every relationship, whether it's FWB or not. I can't argue with you. That is every relationship. That's every legit relationship besides FWB, right? Yeah, every relationship is like that, whether it's a legit relationship, whether you're married, engaged, just going out. Yeah, everybody, one person always cares more than the other person. Okay, that's just a given. Every person, one person wants more than the other person. But with FWB, low key, one of those people wants it to be a little bit more than the other, and they just won't come out and admit it. All right. But with FWB, there is kind of a little bit of a hustle going on. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that, and it's going to be a little bit funny. Okay, so I'm going to talk about like a classic thing that happens with FWB. All right. So you're with this person, you're having an intimate relationship with this person. Okay, a classic dynamic with FWB is one person in the relationship has a stable place to live and the other person doesn't. Okay, this is a very classic dynamic with FWB. Okay, so the person with a stable place to live, usually does the hosting, brings the other person to their house. They do all those things that they do and everything like that, and then they let the unstable person crash at their house for the night. They do whatever, and then they just kind of kick them out the next day or whatever. Okay, we'll see you next time, and blah 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 blah. Thanks for the whatever. Okay, so here's the thing. The person with the unstable living situation usually says, "Hey, do you mind if I keep this box of stuff at your house?" And you're like, how is that any different from having a boyfriend or a girlfriend who leaves all their crap at your house? Check this out. With FWBs, it's even worse. Okay, your boyfriend or girlfriend leaves their whatevers at your house. Okay, the FWB practically moves in with you. You know why? Because they don't have a stable living situation. So what happens is they slowly just bring all their stuff to your house. So they have at least one big box of stuff in your closet. Okay, the FWB brings a bunch of crap to your house. Okay, and at first it's like they bring something cool to your house. Like, oh yeah, you can leave your cool sword at my house. Oh yeah, you can leave those boots at those are badass. You can leave those, or you can leave your coat over here. Sure, because you get them to run to the store for you or do whatever. So yeah, you could leave your coat over here. Pretty soon they're leaving all this stuff. They leave this box at your house, and then your cat has kittens in it, and all this kind of stuff. And then the kittens grow up, and you rehome all the kittens. Well, the box is still there, and everything like that. So you're getting them on the phone, and you're like, hey, I need you to get the box out of here. Because it's getting too permanent in my house, and it's too the cat got too familiar with it. You need to take the box out. I thought you were gonna move the box by now. You need to come get it, right? And so, I thought it was just gonna be here for a few weeks, and it's been here for months, right? So, the thing with FWBs is sometimes some people keep their FWBs for years. Okay, and some people keep them for months. Some people just keep them for a few weeks, and then they switch out and get another one. But some people have kept the same FWBs for a long term, and it it almost like qualifies as a common law marriage. I mean, because they've been seeing the same person for a long time. They just don't want a relationship with them. They just like keeping them around for company. But the FWBs like to keep all their crap at your house. That's just what they do, because they tend to, people like that, you don't really want a relationship with them because they are not stable individuals. But they tend to be fun people. That's why you like doing stuff with them, because they're fun people. You just don't want a relationship with them because they're unstable people, right? They tend not to hold down jobs, or they just don't have those kind of personalities where you want to be with them as a stable partner. But that doesn't mean you don't like them enough to do stuff with them. I mean, there's no other way I can describe it, okay? But the thing is you have a soul tie with this person. You've invested time in this person, so you don't want to say no when it comes to them leaving stuff at your house. But meanwhile, they've practically moved in with you, leaving all their stuff at your house. Okay, so meanwhile, you meet somebody. You meet somebody who can be like a healthy partner for you. So you want to be with this person. They come over and the FWB's crap is at your house, right? So you want this FWB to come and take all their stuff. Well, meanwhile, you're getting rid of all the tacky little gifts that FWB's given you. You sold it at a yard sale, or you gave it away, or you threw it away, or you did whatever. So you're getting rid of all the little mementos and all the stupid crap they gave you, because, it was probably all junk anyway. It doesn't really mean anything to you. You got rid of it. But you can't get rid of their stuff, because you're not going to just throw away their stuff. You're trying to get them to get it. So you're lying to them and telling them that you're moving and they need to come get it. So you're going, okay, I need to leave it outside so you can come get it. And you're doing little things and just trying to get them to come get it. Like, I have to throw it away because I'm moving. You need to come get your stuff. So you're trying to do everything you can to get them to come get it, because you want to start dating somebody stable. You're moving on in your life to having a real relationship. Maybe you've done something with your life where you're just kind of like, you're maturing now, and you're ready to move on with your life. And maybe you've actually met somebody who is, someone special to you. Okay, so, and maybe you were wearing beer goggles, and maybe you clean the beer goggles off and you're looking at the FWB like, oh my God. And you're just done with the FWB, where maybe you stop drinking or getting high, and suddenly you're just realizing, I've made a huge mistake by even associating with this person, and now all their crap is at my house. Okay, so you're ready to just move on. All right, now here's another element with FWBs. Okay, once you've been intimate with somebody and once you've hung out with somebody, they have all their stuff at your house, whether they have all their stuff at your house or not. One of the partners in this relationship, they have a lot of them have the element of a scammer. Okay, they're in that relationship with you where they're physically intimate with you. One of you feels a little bit guilty about not giving them a relationship. You feel bad, because basically you're using somebody for sex. And deep down inside, we all know that's the wrong thing to do. We all know it's wrong, right? Okay, I used a few guys for sex. I know it was the wrong thing to do. I felt bad about it because I know they wanted more out of it. I felt bad. Okay, I mean, even though I was high and everything like that, I knew they liked me and I was using them. Okay, but I guess I didn't feel that bad about it. But you know when somebody really likes you and you're kind of using them for something. Okay, so, but you're just on your player stuff. Okay, but in the back of your mind, you do feel a little guilty. Okay, so they may ask you for something. They may ask you for some kind of favor or something like that. So you do them the favor. Okay, so usually there will be a guy, okay, and the girl FWB will ask him for some money. Okay, he's going to give her the money because he feels bad. He knows he's using her for the sex. Okay, and he knows that if he doesn't give her the money, she's probably not going to do it with him next time. Or even if he's with somebody else, she's still going to ask him for the money. If he's still associating with her, he's going to give her the money. Why? Because he feels bad for all those times he used her for the sex. Okay, that's an FWB thing. That's why if you're seeing somebody else, you need to cut those FWBs off, okay? Because they're going to come back in your life and they're going to ask you for things. And you're going to feel guilty about all those times you used her because she wasn't good enough for a relationship, but she was good enough for all that other stuff, okay? So that's why you need to cut them off when you're seeing somebody else, okay? You need to just, even though they're a cool friend and you would never do anything with them again and all this other stuff, cut them off because they're always going to ask you for favors. They know you feel guilty because you did something wrong. Okay? In the back of your mind, you know those relationships were bad news. I still feel guilty for it. I do. I feel guilty because I know those guys wanted to be my boyfriend. I feel bad. They'd sit there. Do you think you'd ever really want to be my girlfriend, Juliana? I'm like, no, I'm not really, ready for a relationship. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, if some real dude came along, yeah, but not you, and I would be thinking that in my mind, but I wouldn't say it to them, And so here comes another thing about FWBs. So you go out with your friends, like you go out to the club or whatever like that, okay? FWBs know that you're using them, and that whole I'm not ready for relationship thing is just a clever ruse. You just don't want to be with them, and they know it. They know if somebody you really liked came along, that you would stop sleeping with them and that you would get with somebody. If somebody you really liked came along, they know that you're just giving them an excuse. You just don't want to be with them, okay? They know it. So this is what would happen when I had an FWB. I would go, I'm just going to go, have a few drinks with the girls or whatever. So I would get ready and go somewhere. The FWB would find out where I was, even though I would not post it on social media. He would find out where I was, and he would turn up. Yeah. And he would bug me and try to throw a C block every time I was doing something. And I would tell him, I'm working, I'm interviewing people, I'm doing what I go, I need you to leave me alone. I'm talking to this singer, I'm doing this over here, I'm talking to this DJ, I need you to leave me alone, I'm working. And stuff like that. And sometimes I was working, sometimes I wasn't. But I just, I need you to back off and leave me alone because I'm busy right now. I'm doing whatever. Sometimes I was just partying. I just wanted him to leave me alone. And then, I'd be talking to some guy and he'd just come up and stand next to me and I'd just be like, and they'd be like, who's that dude? And I go, oh, just a dude I know. Like, why is he following me around all night? I go, he's just a fan, and he sticks to you like glue. I go, I know, he's a fan. I go, so I would just like say it like that. I go, he's just like insane. I go, I gave him an autograph. He just won't go away. So, and you have to explain people away like that, and of course they can tell, that something's going on there, that they're like some kind of jealous boyfriend or something. But FWBs are jealous boyfriends or girlfriends. You're sleeping with them. They don't want you to like see somebody else. They're jealous. They feel like you're theirs. They don't want you hooking up with or giving your number to somebody else or liking anybody else. They think you're theirs. You have to completely get rid of them. There's no meeting somebody else when you have an FWB because they want to be with you. Okay? They're not going to back off it and let you be with somebody else. And if you're in a relationship with somebody, they're going to try to break it up so they can keep messing with you. Okay? They're really just, they're really just going to try to monopolize you. So FWBs, they're just gonna cause problems. Okay, so I hate to just tell on myself, but that's just what FWBs do. Okay, so they are a bad idea. But most people that talk about FWBs, they talk about FWBs using them, hurting their feelings. But FWBs, get jealous. FWBs get in your way of meeting other people. They leave stuff at your house. They ask you for money. They guilt you. And remember, when you have sex with somebody else, it's a spiritual soul tie. Stop having casual sex with people. And I know that's like not a popular thing to say. And I can't believe I would ever say that to somebody, but stop doing that. Okay, it's a bad idea. And right now with all the diseases going around, you're just going to want to stop doing that now. So, FWB is just asking for trouble now. So, take it from somebody who's had FWBs. They've always made trouble. They're worse than your actual partner. They're actually more jealous because they know you don't want to be with them. So they cause more problems. And that's the ironic thing about it. So because you are actually trying to get rid of them and move on to somebody else. So that's all I have to say about that. Don't have an FWB. It's just don't do it. Okay? I love you all. You guys have a beautiful evening, and I will see you in the next content. Bye-bye.